Look, first of all,
Yeah.
The Dirty South is a fantastic film, and you are excellent in it. I love this film. It has so many twists and turns. It's about a small town. The thing about small towns, everybody knows everybody's business, and this is even bigger than that. Matthew Yerby is a first-time director. He directs this film and writes this film for the first time. What was it about Matthew's vision that got you on board, Shane?
I just think his passion about this project. He's so animated. He was. I mean, I know he's producer as well on board, but everything that he was involved with on this project, besides writing, producing, directing, it was like he was a part of the crew. He found all the sites, he found all the locations. This was just something that he was really, really into, and it's hard not to be excited when someone else is so excited.
Absolutely. Shane, I know you're from Louisiana. What was it about the Dirty South that resonated with you to make you jump on this project?
A lot of it was that, a lot of it was the fact that, being born in Louisiana, always wanting to have a kind of a connection and to be able to film out here or film out there. The tiny town of Natchitoches is well known in the state of Louisiana as being kind of the city, a great Cajun city that's got a very good university, but then during Christmas has the Festival of Lights. And if you've never been, at least you knew that much. So for me, it was, I had never been. I had been in Shreveport filming 3 years on a series called Salem. Yeah. So this was the closest I had ever gotten to Natchitoches. But it was also exciting to be able to go there and now tell my family down in Baton Rouge that I was able to finally spend time there. I was able to see the Festival of Lights, and that I was able to film an entire movie out there.
That's incredible. Now, you play Dion, who's a brooding grifter who takes what he needs. What excited you about this role, and what did you want to bring to Dion that wasn't on the page?
I think it was being able to play almost kind of what you just said, the brooding drifter, being able to, those roles are kind of fun. And I was just really wanting to, he's very conflicted. I love conflicted characters. I love characters with just all sorts of places that he can go and backgrounds that are dubious, things that you can kind of create on the spot. And I think with Dion, he was very much like, all right, well, I'm going to bring my own personality to him, but I love the fact that he's kind of that grifter on the road, which I'd never played before. So being able to play something like that, a role that I've always been interested in my home state and in the town that I've always wanted to work in and spend time in, it was kind of a no-brainer. Also, I feel like it had this True Romance is my favorite movie from Quentin Tarantino and Scott. And so it felt like it had a little bit of that, and I wanted to bring hopefully that to it. As well as a little bit of Bonnie and Clyde, which I'm a big fan of, and, bring a little bit of that. So it's not like we're going around murdering people, but, they've got this feel of this love and connection between these two characters of Sue and Dion.
Absolutely. Now, Willa Holland plays Sue, she's been through the ringer, and she has to come up with $30K to save her dad's bar. She's also raising her little brother along the way. How was it working with her on this film?
It was great. I met Willa years ago when she was like essentially a baby just starting. And it was very evident back then that she could be a star and would be a star. And she has just those qualities. And to finally be able to work with her so many years later was a blessing. And I think she brought such gravitas and such edge and emotion and realism to this story. It was already a real story, but you could make this film in this script in so many different tiers. Like you can do so many different things with it. You can make it safer, you can make it edgier, whatever it was, but she brought like that realism to it that what I was going to say wasn't unexpected, but in a way it did. It gave it this kind of edge that I felt it needed. It was something I knew I could bring, and I have in the past, but being able to do this and being able to connect immediately with those two characters. I mean, she carries the movie, and I think she did an amazing job.
Yeah. Can you talk about Sue and Dion's relationship a little bit and why Dion would risk it all for Sue?
I think at this point, with Dion. Clearly he's been through a lot. Some of it the audience is given a glimpse of, and some of it the audience will never know. And some of it I won't even know. And I didn't want to know fully. It was fun to just be able to play with that. I think at this point he's been through the ringer himself, right, in a different capacity. And sometimes there's that thing of kindred spirits when it just suddenly kind of connects. And that's what I was hoping was gonna be apparent in that opening scene, at least for Dion in the bar, seeing her for the first time. It was, I think at this point in Dion's life, he's looking for a connection that he can't find. And that's why he keeps continuing to do what he's doing and is always on the road and kind of can't stop. I think she made him stop in more ways than one. And yeah, I think that's kind of what, it gives him a glimmer of hope.
With characters like Dion, there's this kind of like this side of them that's a little shady, and Dion's a great pickpocket. Did you learn how to become like a pretty good pickpocket during the process of working on this film?
Man, we had no chance. No time, no chance, no time in hell. It was sort of like using the technique of sleight of hand, but with sleight of camera. Like, so I had to trust our DP. I had to trust Matthew. I had to trust just the whole team that they were filming correctly of me, or filming or not showing me at all, being able to do that kind of sleight of hand thing. And I think what helped was Steadicam. I think getting the camera, up and on the ground and off the ground was able to kind of help with that. But no, we didn't have much time. Hell, poor Willa, being a pool shark, she didn't have much time to learn how to play pool either. So those scenes, we had people, really good pool players playing for her at times, then her making the shot at times. We had a lot of help, but we just started. So this movie suddenly, it took a long time to make in its infancy, but when it suddenly got green lit and the actors came to it and the money was there, we were all there almost instantaneously without much time to bond or anything. So it's really just kind of like your trial under fire, get out there and give it a try.
If you would have told me that you had learned how to pickpocket, I would have totally believed you, because it's very convincing in this film. Now,
well, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Dermot Mulroney plays Jeb Roy, who's from the other side of town, different side of the tracks. He brings this gravitas to Jeb. What excited you about working with Dermot?
Well, I've always been a fan. I've been a fan, at least from my memory, maybe Young Guns 2. Wait, shit. No, excuse my language. I think it was Young Guns 1. But regardless, like, I had always liked his work. And he's got a vast amount of work, and always wanted to work with him. We have similar representation, so I was hoping that this would kind of resonate and connect with him, and it did. But the problem was the joking around about it was I still need to work with him again because I barely did anything. I worked one day with him at the very finale between him and I and her. And by the way, and that was being shot, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. It was freezing cold. So we barely got to connect or work with. He did most of his stuff in about a week, I think, 4 or 5 days. And so ultimately, when I saw the movie, I was, weird of me to say this at 45 years old over him being my elder, but I was proud of him in that sense because I loved what he did with the character and that he came in, that he cared and he put in the time. And I he made me laugh. His character made me laugh, even at times maybe we weren't supposed to. And I thought he did an amazing job.
He did a fantastic job, yes. Now, what did Matthew's directing style add to this film? And did him being an actor kind of help with his process?
I think so. I think it's more hands-on, but at the same time, he knows when to let the actor, experiment and do what they or do what they need to do to go through their process. But he was always there to listen. I think that's the most important thing. Honestly, that's the most important thing, I think, from a writer, a director, and an acting perspective is to listen. If you can do that, then the ability will take you far. But, with him, I think he was always there for notes. He was always there to help out. He had to be there a lot for Willa because Willa also came in last second,
Wow.
more last second than I did, to be able to wrap her head around that character in the background with her dad and her son and the ex-boyfriend, like all of these different characters. And he was always there and always present. And I think that's the most important thing.
Well, look, Shane, the film is fantastic. I can't wait for everyone to see this on November 10th. Thank you so much for your time. You were a trooper. Thank you for logging back on with all these issues.
You were a trooper. I'm like, all right, I guess I got to go with the cell phone. Forget the laptop. All right.
You made it happen, man. I appreciate your commitment. Thank you so much.
Thank you.